Hey friends, I think I'm finally ready to start weathering this locomotive. I'm going to try and make it match its worn out brother here. And I don't remember exactly how I did this one though. Let me set the camera up and we'll have a look, and you can either watch me as I create or laugh along with me as I screw it up. I have a whole bunch of weathering colors that I use. They're Tamiya paint, and they're really thinned down for weathering. I like to build the color up in layers. So I would rather keep adding more than suddenly have way too much and have to take it off. So that's my reasoning behind that. I got those. Here's another one. When the bottle was empty, I just added a bunch of alcohol to it, and there's my weathering mix. That's one of the best colors I think I've seen for just general dirt. It was black, flat black with linoleum deck brown. Yeah, that's right. I think it was Boomer that suggested that. It's one of those moments, it's like, I'm terrible with color. I tell you that. I'll tell anyone that. I'm terrible with color. I can see something on a model or on a locomotive and like, yeah, it's brown, but it's not really brown. It's a shade of brown, and if you just use brown, it's not going to look right. And so that's where I struggle with, is copying a color. But that one, man, that looks awful close to the grime I see on the sides of locomotives and the underframes and stuff. Like, I'm really happy with how that turned out. And what's the ratio? I don't know. I don't remember. It was probably an empty bottle of brown, and I just added a bunch of black and then a bunch of alcohol to make almost a wash out of it. So I got gray. Anyway, I don't know how many of these colors I'm going to use, but I ramble, eh? I ramble sometimes. I also have this. This was great because, again, I'm terrible with color, and anybody I'm sure could just mix up these colors. Anyone that's got a good eyeball for it. Me, not so much. So I've kind of put a little dab on the lids to tell me what the paint looks like. But yeah, this kit's really been helpful, and I'm thinking that's what I used on the other locomotive. Thinking I used this kit, but I don't know. Let's find out. Let's get started and we'll see what we end up with. I'm going to start with a whitewash to fade the paint a little. Because it's white, I like to use I'll normally use paper to give myself some idea of what the spray pattern will look like. Basically see how it's spraying. But because it's white, I'm going to do it on this coffee cup here. And I think it's coming out subtle enough that I've got what I want. Very little paint in there. There we go. I think that's good enough. Very, very subtle fade. But I can see it. I am going to try these Vallejo paints. I think that's what I used on the other one. I'm going to start with orange brown, and then I think I'll move to light rust for the very top of the locomotive. I'm not certain I've got the right shade, but let's see what we end up with. I guess it doesn't have to be an exact match to the other locomotive. I think I'm going to switch to a slightly darker color now for right up the middle. Maybe I'll use this on the undercarriage a little bit too. Let's try that. See, I think this is the part where I sometimes fail. I'm looking at it right now thinking, it kind of looks like crap. Like, I'm not happy with it, but I think it's just because it's too monotone. I need to add the other colors and it'll start to look better. That's the one thing I like about these paints. If I don't like what I've done, I can take them off with alcohol. But yeah, we're not at that point yet. Let's carry on and see what I end up with. I was going to go lighter, but no. Upon reflection, looking at the model I did before, it looks like I went, let's see, you see that? Looks like I went lighter and then finished with dark right across the top. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is Vallejo's chocolate brown I'm going to use next. I think that'll work, see? I think that's what I'm looking for. Whoa. Oh, there. Well, no, not really. I think that'll do. I think that's looking better. Not quite the line I wanted, but that'll work. Okay, hopefully I'm going to give this a subtle blasting of rail brown on the underframe and stuff. And my test spray. Around the battery boxes maybe, let's see. Subtle, I want subtle. That's subtle. That's not too bad. Yeah, I actually like that. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but subtle. Alright, now some super thin flat black for the exhaust stacks. Yeah. Flip her over. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to try and tone down the 1/6 there because they seem brighter than the 3. Don't want to overdo it. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. How about this side? I'll do the same. They don't look too bad though. Ooh. Subtle, subtle. Just realized I have some Tamiya flat clear. I'm going to try a little bit of these weathering powders. I forget which ones they are, Bragdon or... I bought like a sample pack. It seems a little stiff, that brush. Let me try a different one. Didn't even really need this. It was pretty good as it was. I'm just fooling around now. Probably making things worse. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm making things worse. Don't monkey with it. It's good enough. Too heavy now. Yep. Let's try and take some of that off. Yeah, I forget if these are AIM weathering powders or Bragdon. It's not pan pastels. I've got those too. But I don't really use... I'd use pan pastels on a building or something that's not going to be handled. Because if you spray them with clear coat, they disappear. I think that's good enough. Don't mess with it anymore there, Leon. Well, we've come this far. I might as well show you me spraying the clear coat. It's flat clear, not flat base. Flat base is something else, and it's meant to be mixed with paint to turn it into a flat color, from what I understand. There, hopefully it won't, hopefully the weathering won't come off when I handle the model now. There he is. I think he fits in with the rest of them. I guess that's it. If you like what you see, why don't you hit the subscribe button for me and follow along as I build this thing. And either way, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. With my Bigfoot children walking across the ceiling.